Once upon a time, for that is how these things start, you know, there was a small child. The world was new, and there were still so many things to explore. Now this child was not the first child to have existed, but they were special. A mind full of patterns and things that danced and sang behind the eyes. This child, as we shall follow them, was known as Maggie. Maggie had imagination. It was like stories that were built into their very self. These stories wrapped like vines through and around Maggie's ribcage, tangled in the bones of their spine, and sprouted from the palms of their hands. Maggie lived their truth as loudly as they could, shouted their stories from the rooftops, and breathed deep. But as they grew, the world around them began to clip the vines into a specific shape, to change the way the patterns sang. The vines retreated from the clipping world and coiled around Maggie's heart. The patterns grew still and silent. The world gave this child a word. She, her, woman. Maggie hardened. Her skin grew tight and cold and thick, a frozen smile on her face. The vines and patterns were a distant memory, almost forgotten. It was hard to breathe. Time passed. One day, there was a question. Who are you? And she didn't have an answer. She didn't know. She didn't feel real. She didn't feel right. She felt stuck, locked, sad, empty, detached. But there, in the back corner of memory, was a tale about stories that wrapped like vines through and around Maggie's ribcage, tangled in the bones of their spine, sprouted from the palms of their hands. A memory of living their truth as loudly as they could, shouting their stories from the rooftops and breathing deep. Maggie longed for that truth more than they had ever longed for something before. This, no longer a child, chose a new name, Archer, not because they could shoot a graceful arrow through the air, but because of the tradition of passing down names. Archer traveled far and wide, finding as many people with vines that sprang from their hands as they could. And finally, after a much longer tale than we can tell here, Archer found a new word. He. With the joy that can only come from finding the sun again, Archer cut open the hardened skin he had been living in. He breathed deeply, and oh God, he could breathe. Archer sat, began to rebuild the patterns in his mind, and began to regrow the stories in his heart.
It is March 6th. It is a Friday. March 6th, 2015. And this is me. Okay, I'm just gonna end up taking a video so we can see everyone. What are you doing to my head, Lena? This is my voice. 1 week on testosterone. This is my voice. 2 weeks on testosterone. This is my voice. 3 weeks on testosterone. Well, 3 weeks and a couple days. I am officially 1 month on T. I am now 1 month and 2 weeks on T. I am now 1 month and 3 weeks on testosterone. I am 1 month and some weeks. This is my voice, 2 months on T. I am now 2 months, 1 week on testosterone. This is my voice, 2 months and 2 weeks on testosterone. This is my voice, 2 months and 3 weeks on testosterone. I made the video not that long ago of
the voice changes so far. It's been kind of crazy to hear the differences. Like, just even in between the more recent weeks, it doesn't feel like my voice is continuing to get deeper, but it really is. It's kind of like rounding out. It doesn't feel reedy or forced. Singing is starting to get a little bit easier, but I still have a hard time finding my voice. And if I don't know the lyrics to a song, it takes too much concentration to focus on a new tune, and so that doesn't work so well. This is my voice, 3 months on testosterone. I am now 3 months and 1 week on testosterone. Today I am 3 months and 3 weeks on testosterone. Today I am 4 months on testosterone. I don't think my voice has really changed all that much in the last couple weeks, but I also haven't gone back to watch these videos to really find out, but it's settling and I feel like I can actually start learning how to sing again, which is really exciting. This is my voice, 4 months and 1 week on testosterone. I'll be on half a year in less than 2 months, which is kind of crazy. I am 8 months and some weeks on T, a little bit under 8.5 months on T. I am 9 months and almost 2 weeks on T. Just kind of another little voice update. Today is the first really beautiful day of spring. It feels like the first full day of summer, and I am 11 months on testosterone.
6, 2015. And this is me.
It is June 12th, 2017, and this is me, and I am 1 year on testosterone, and it feels really